They chose Jeroboam as their leader, which also was prophesied. And so now you have a divided kingdom. So we get down to where we are here in chapter 16 of First King, and you'll find that Ahab is the king of Israel, the northern kingdom. And in that, I just want to share this with you. In that, in chapter 16, it says, Ahab was son of Omar, became king over Israel in his 38th year of Judah's king of Asa. Ahab, son of Omar, reigned over Israel for 22 years. But Ahab did what was evil in the Lord's sight more than all who were before him. Then, as if following the sin of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, enough, he married Jezebel. And they proceeded to serve Baal and worship him. And so that gets us almost Ahab is king. Then in chapter 17, you get this. Now Elijah the Tishbite was from Gilead, the sellers. He said to Ahab, as the Lord God of Israel lives, in whose presence I stand, there will be no dew or rain during these years except by my command. And then the word of the Lord came to him to leave here and turn. We remember that story where he prophesied to Ahab about the condition. He prophesied for a drought, a severe drought. And then God tells him to leave, go hide. And there was good reason to go hide. Number one, Baal was the god of rain. And so now you're coming against the God of rain, and you're predicting and you're prophesying a drought. And now you're in a drought condition. And so now it's like, well, if we kill the one who prophesied it, then we can pray to our gods to come. And so they're looking for Elijah. God hides Elijah. But also, there's another reason, because you know how sometimes when God uses us, and then we can elevate ourselves. In the point of people will start patting you on the back and tell you what a wonderful job you did. Well, God really used you like that. Oh, you really tore that song up. Oh, you really preached that sermon. Or you did this. And you really did that. And then we'll get helium in our head in a minute and start floating. And sometimes God will have to hide us so we won't get all these accolades heaped on. He knows we can't handle it. So he hides. He tells them to hide. And we know the story where he was at the brook Cherith. Then he went to the wilderness there. All the things that happened. And so then we get to our lesson for today. It starts in verse 5, but let's look at verse 1 of chapter 18. After a long time, the word of the Lord came to Elijah in the 3rd year, 3-year and 6-month drought. Go present yourself to Ahab. I will send rain to the surface of the land. So Elijah went to present himself to Ahab. Elijah had prayed for a drought. The drought happened. Now God tells him to go back. I hid you. Now go show yourself. From the folks, which shows that you have to rely totally on God. I mean, how many of us like, God, are you sure about that? Them the folks that I predicted this drought, and they've been without water for 3.5 years now. I know they're going to be a little bit upset with me. Coupled with the fact they have been trying to find him had been looking everywhere for him. And so, any thoughts, comments, or questions? So that's where we are. And then we get into our lesson. Now remember, Ahab has the nation of Israel worshiping Baal. Baal was the son of Asherah, who was the fertility goddess. And he was the supreme god of rain and fertility. That's who they considered Baal to be. And that's who Ahab had led through Jezebel. Remember now, he was king by title, but not by power. Because she pulled all the strings. And so that's who they're ruling and expecting. And so early on, you'll find that Ahab had sent Obadiah out and say, look, you go this way, I go this way. We need to find some type of pasture land, somewhere we can get some grass and something for our livestock, because these things are dying. And so they're looking. And so as they're looking, we get to verse 5. And Ahab had said to Obadiah, go to the lands unto all the fountains of the waters and unto all the brooks. Eventually we may find grass to save the horses and the mules alive. And we also not the beast. So they divided the land between them to pass throughout. Ahab went one way by himself, and Obadiah went another way by himself. And as Obadiah was on the way, behold, Elijah met him, and he knew him, and fell on his face and said, art thou my Lord Elijah? Obadiah, by all accounts, was a person that worshiped and loved God. And he knew who Elijah was. He also knew that they had been looking for Elijah. And so he falls on his face and he recognizes who Elijah is. But notice what he says. And he said, I am. Go tell the Lord, behold, Elijah is here. So the command is, all right, yeah, I'm Elijah. I'm back. Go tell Ahab I'm back. Look at the response that happened when Elijah to go back. He didn't hesitate. Elijah tells Obadiah to do the same thing. Ahab. This is the response. And he said, what have I sinned? Thou deliverest thy soul to the hands of Ahab to slay me. Are you kidding me? Go tell this man that you back, and we've been looking for you all this time? He'll kill you. Y'all, he was talking to Elijah. Elijah is the one that prophesied for the drought. Who would he be more upset with? Elijah wasn't afraid.